Download Raid Shadow Legends today. I need to do something. What are we doing? Oh boy. All right, let's do this real quick. I got Mithrala. I gotta make a video about her. She seems pretty good. I'm trying to wrap my head around why she's that good. Before I do that, I gotta make a thumbnail for this. I gotta do this real quick. That's not right. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I gotta make a thumbnail. Oh, I can do it like this. I don't need to go in game. Yeah, I can do it here, right? MarvelStrikeForce.com. Let's see, let's turn that back on. All right. Barely visible vowels. Yeah, I'm kind of albino. All right. Let's see here. Let's turn this off. And raid on. Let's see. We need to do this. Photoshop. Oh, I created a new raid banner today. What do you think of this banner? What do you think of that banner? All right. That's not what I'm here to do. I got to make this real quick. Forgot to. Where did the little thing go? Window. There we go. Why would anybody want that ever to go away? That drives me insane. Oh. Make this 2. All right, we got it. All right. All right, now we're gonna play Raid Shadow Legends. My apologies. What were we gonna do? I was gonna do something. I got a bunch of stuff to do today. Let's do this first before we get into it. I need to sort out the masteries on some of these. Anybody here like hardcore Raid Shadow Legends? Like Mithrala is cool, but my goodness, a 5? Hello there, Alan. Welcome in. I mean, like a 5. My first 5. Slightly outdated, super solid. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, yeah, she cleanses and buffs the team, and you really can't, like, stun her easily. I get it. But still, like... Oh, let's turn this off. $29. Okay. Like where am I going to use her the most? I guess is the question. Drop R4 Raid or MSF? Oh, they're for Marvel Strike Force. I need to change that. Hold on. I got rid of it. Thank you. All right, let's see here. I feel like this is the standard build for everybody. Yeah, if you want to get Marvel Strike Force drops, my suggestion is to go watch Ambassador Al. Oh, my first 5. Where's the best place to showcase her? Like, where am I going to get the most use out of her? I don't have her fully upgraded or geared correctly or anything. Right? And then of you that are here that are veteran players, like, how many times a week are you using her? Like, where do you use her on a weekly basis, I guess? Venomage. Nobody uses her. Mithrala is not that great. Faction Wars? Yeah, I used her in Faction Wars and I ran. Actually, I was able to 63 it or whatever. So is it just that Hell's Hades is like pretty much outdated, is what it is? No, I get it. So am I. Oh, I pulled Cheshire Cat today. I'm happy about that. That was pretty cool. Faction Wars. I see people using her in the arena. Use her in Hydra. Do you use her with some like Hex? Like I've got Mitch, right? Who's largely dependent on Hex, right? I think like her and Mitch are no brainers, right? I already think I used Mitch. Yeah, I already used Mitch. Oh, I did it in the wrong spot? Hmm. All right. Well, help me build a team then. Let's see. All right, who do we have? We're gonna put her as a support, right? Who else is gonna benefit from Hex? I don't have really anybody. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, your sounds like you're super in game. Well, I just got her. And I'm looking at her kit and I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess. You know what I mean? Who do I want to go in as a lead? Need a reviver. Where's Kaja? I already used Kaja? Shit. All right, let's use Rabbit Guy. I need a reviver. Who's going to be the best reviver? Oh, you're going to get Arbiter? Oh, man. That's a good... Arbiter and Mikage are amazing. I just got Mikage. Super helpful so far. Hmm. That's garbage. Yeah, I know, right? I don't. This doesn't feel right. Let's do it this way. Hell Hades tier list. I don't feel like this is gonna work without HP burn. Oh, come on. Why is it being dumb like this? Oh my god. How do I log out of this? Oh, this website is not good sometimes. How do I log out? Oh my God, log me out. Log out. Hmm. Brian, you're so incredibly lucky. Okay. Oh, how's it going, Brian? Welcome in, Full Metal. All right, I need some sort of reviver, healer. Um, All right, who else feeds off of Hex? Raid Shadow Legends, what's up, my lovely wife? Coming through for 61 months. How do I key him? Raid Shadow Legends. Right. Haldor is great, yeah. Marichka the other day, Void Shard completely changed the game for me. That's awesome. I have no revivers here, do I? Yeah, I don't understand. I need a reviver. Who's a reviver that can help me? Hugo, Reservoir, Ostrox, Kedem, Samukon, Umbral, Rector Drath. Let's do a Kedem and Arbiter. All right. Is Kedem gonna do a lot of stuff? There we go. Well, that's kind of BS that they cleanse it right away, but I like the idea of it here. All right, let's see if we can get rid of that. Okay. What? Well, this is some bullshit. All right, now we're doing some stuff. Best way to find an active clan? I'm not sure. I made a clan, so I haven't had to look for one. All right, Arbiter Revive. Is this working? I can't tell if this is working. Does this feel like this is working? Oh my God, they cleanse it. All right, come on, do your thing again, man. Come on, do your cleanse thing. Do your cleanse thing. Well, that's always good, right? No, cleanse. Not that. All right, cleanse. Yeah, well, that's over. All right. Let's see here. All right. Yeah. I hit regroup. I need a healer and a reviver. Healer, reviver. I would do Ursula, but I don't think Ursula has enough healing. I need a healer and a reviver in one. I guess Ursula. Well, Rector Drath has already used her. Rector Drath is who I wanted to use. I already used Godseeker and Rector Drath. No, I know, no. Yeah, Rector Drath is great. Okay. How do you stop this bullshit from happening right here? I mean, it's bullshit. I mean, I can't put negative effects out on them. And why do they make it? Yeah, I don't have any healing on my team is the problem. I mean, I have some revivers, but I'm going to be so dependent on drain that I don't think that's going to be a good strategy. We should get a revive right here. Oh, did she opt to not revive? Hmm. Hmm. All right, well, drop cleanse. You're supposed to cleanse, Mithrala. Cleanse. Yeah, that's cool that there's hex everywhere, but that's not what I need. I need I mean, that's cool right there, I guess, but hmm. Hmm. Well, let's talk about. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Let's talk about this fusion event that's upcoming. We're looking at the fusions. Hmm. Where's the fact sheet? Fusion's a large part of the game here in Raid Shadow Legends, and some of the most fun I've had in Raid Shadow Legends was getting characters like Lord Fabian and Mad Hatter And there's always this large discussion about fusions in that should I go for them or should I skip them? Because Raid Shadow Legends is a resource management game, and the amount of resources and the commitment and the dedication that it takes to get one of these fusion characters is quite an undertaking. And actually, I find it to be a lot of fun, but I'm not sure that I could do every single one that comes out. I think that would be a tremendous tax on my account. And I think that most people make a decision and they either go for it or skip the character. Now, before we get in it, just if you have not done so already, there is a link in the description or scan the QR code. I don't know why my editor did this. Is funny. You get Corrado, legendary character, right out of the gate, and then you get Ugo, who's an epic support champion at level 15, and then even more importantly than that, you get at level 30 Tagore. And boy, this is also of vital importance, is you can put in one promo code every 24 hours, and do not use a promo code that is not a first 24 hours. Somebody the other day put in a promo code and they had to restart their account. You want to use Monkey King. And that gets you the legendary account card. That'll get you the legendary character, Sun Wukong. And you got to do that in the first 24 hours of playing Raid Shadow Legends. And then after that, you can start using the bad codes. But you got to use the good code, because this code only works in the first 24 hours of playing Raid Shadow Legends. So I wanted to talk about this Ishima, the immovable. I guess in Japanese that's for Stone Mountain, and why in-game players are not going for it. Now, I am not an in-game player. I skipped this one right here, but am I going to be going for this one right here? I think I have a different perspective than an in-game player. I mean, in-game player probably is only going to go for characters that are going to affect their account, and from what I can see, most of them are saying no. So I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to make an assessment of whether or not this will even help my account as a newer player. Ishima, the movable overview, wielding his fiery chain flail, and it has like 3 fiery, yeah, I know, I got to start over. All right, we're going to talk about the next fusion that is coming to Raid Shadow Legends. And I know there is a lot of discussion, and also a lot of people are not happy with the next fusion in Raid Shadow Legends. But I wanted to talk about this fusion from my perspective as a relatively new player. I've been playing the game for about 9 months, and my objectives and concerns in the game are going to be drastically different than someone that's been playing the game for 5 or 6 years. Now, got a new promo code. If you use the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen, not only will you get the legendary Corrado right from the start, which is a big deal, you also get Ugo when you hit level 15, which is an epic support champion, and then another epic support champion at level 30, Tagore. So you're going to be set up right out of the gate for big success with those 3 champions. Then, even more importantly, in the first 24 hours, use the promo code Monkey King to get my absolute favorite character in the game, Sun Wukong. Now, this is important. You can only use one promo code every 24 hours. There are other promo codes out there that are not good. And if you use one of those promo codes, you won't be able to use this one, because this one right here only works in the first 24 hours. And then you can use those other promo codes later. Does that make sense? You got to do this one within the first 24 hours. Now that we've got through it, I wanted to talk about fusion events. And fusion events so far has been one of my favorite things, frankly, in Raid Shadow Legends, because I was able to do the Lord Fabian fusion, amazing character, love him. I also did Mad Hatter, amazing fusion. But I'm finding that I don't have enough resources and the commitment and the time and the dedication to do every single one of them. And I have to kind of pick my place. And I'm finding that where I'm at in the game, I can alternate between fusions. So I was actually kind of looking forward to this next fusion, because I did get Lord Entertainer Fabian, who's amazing, I skipped Lythansur, Breastbane, Beastbane, and then now we have Ishiyama, the immovable. My understanding is that is Stone Mountain. So we're going to go over the kit. I think most in-game players are not thrilled about this one for various reasons, but I wanted to go over the kit and see if this is something that I'm going to be personally considering and going for, because I have different concerns as being a newer player, right? So Ishiyama, the immovable overview, wielding his fiery chain flail, the descendant of one of Yakai's greatest warriors, rises to destroy all who threatens his realm. Decades ago, Ishiyama was set ablaze by a monster known as Fyro, the Fire Knight. He was consumed by the flames, and in the aftermath, he entered his ancestor's vault and equipped himself with the strongest armor in Shadowkin history, known to make the wearer immovable by any enemy. And when I think of immovable, I think of like a tank, but this looks like to be a HP based damage dealer. Okay. Ishiyama, the immovable, focus on dealing damage while growing stronger against enemies under debuffs, all while placing a few debuffs on his own. His debuffs come from A2 and AoE attack that can place fear, decrease crit damage, and decrease crit rate on enemies, with the effects becoming irresistible if the target has 2 or more debuffs. Since many bosses like the Hydra or in the Doom Tower have a base 15% crit rate, lowering their crit rate helps you protect your team from dangerous hits. The fear also adds crowd control for enemies, or perhaps the Chimera's ram form. Now, I want to talk about the difference between fear and true fear. So both fear and true fear, when like, let's say your character has true fear or fear, there's just a 50% chance that nothing happens, right? There is a difference though, and it's a big difference between fear and true fear. On true fear, if you use your A3 ultimate, let's say, and it's that 50% fail, it goes into cooldowns and you lose the ability. But under the normal fear, you could still do your A3 ultimate the turn around. So true fear is much, much better than fear, because it essentially wipes out the cooldowns. It's like attacking when you have blind with your ultimate and it just misses. Then that ability is no longer used, and effectively it's more effective. It's actually better than an ability block, right? Because the ability is now on cooldown. So I think this would be a lot better if it had true fear, is what I'm trying to say. One of the main reasons these debuffs are important is that they help scale max HP. His passive gains 3% max HP up to 30% for each debuff he places. This means that as the fight progresses, he becomes stronger and tankier, allowing him to sustain hits more effectively and deal more damage. So that seems like a ability that'd be good use in a boss fight, not necessarily in the arena. Additionally, if enemy resists one of his debuffs, he can place his debuffs unresisted on the next hit. So that's a part of his passive. So I think the idea here is that you can ignore accuracy, go all out on, let's say, HP and crit damage and maybe speed, but not necessarily. You don't have to do speed, but I guess speed's going everywhere. But you could ignore accuracy because his passive says that the first time, if it misses, the second time it sticks. That's kind of interesting. So I guess then you just won't need any accuracy if you want to operate under those conditions. One of the main reasons the debuffs are important is they help scale max. He passively gains 3% up to 30% for each debuff he places. Okay, we already read that. In terms of his damage potential, the A3 is expected to be the strongest kill, ignoring 25% of the target's defense, or 50% of the target is under 2 or more debuffs. So going into a team with another debuffer seems like it's going to be necessary to get the most use out of that A3. This makes it strong for taking down a single enemy or dealing solid damages to bosses. Upon killing a target with this skill, he also places a block damage on himself, providing his strong self-protection in areas like the arena. With the long-awaited hard mode faction wars arriving, Ishiyama is expected to be a strong option for this content. as well as other faction limited to areas like Curse City or even certain Shadowkin siege teams if his damage meets expectations. Additionally, his A1 can reflect random debuffs back onto enemies and allows him to counterattack with it when attacked by enemies under debuff. So that is very interesting. I know Shadowkin. I've got Mitch and I just got Lady Mikage. What I really need was a reviver, and what I've been hearing from everybody is that Shadowkins really don't have a reviver at all. So that is kind of like a big disappointment. Let's read the passive first. Whenever an enemy resists a debuff placed by this champion, the next debuff placed by this champion cannot be resisted. Each debuff placed by this champion increases their match HP by 3, stacks up to 30%. All right. It's interesting. I don't know that is going to be important in arena necessarily. I guess if it's a longer fight. But anyways, and then this is interesting because I believe that allows for an opportunity for him to ignore accuracy. And I know when building characters, if you have to focus on accuracy, something else will suffer. So then this is finish them. Attack one enemy will ignore 25% of the target defense. And ignoring defense is so important in this game because the damage just ramps up if you could ignore defense. We'll ignore 50% of the target's defense instead if the target is under 2 or more debuffs. Places a block damage buff for this champion for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. So this is effectively on 3-turn cooldown when booked. So out of the gate it's 4, and then you get a cooldown right here. Now this is the interesting ability. Calculated volley. Attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing a fear debuff, not true fear. And this goes up to 100% when it's fully booked. And it goes down to 3-turn cooldowns when it's fully booked. A 25% decreased crit damage debuff and a 30% crit rate debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted by enemies who are already under 2 or more debuffs. Okay. So this I think would be interesting against bosses. I guess you could stack it with like an attack down. There's also like all those trials in Chimera. Maybe that'll be useful there. Maybe there'll be certain types of trials in the new faction wars, but this fear is not nearly as impactful as true fear. And my experience with arena is everybody's running stone skin. So this is really not happening that often because everybody's running the artifact stone skin. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work, right? I just don't feel like that would be that useful in arena. And then the other thing I would want to know, and maybe somebody in the comment section knows, is like, how does the order of operation work? So does the fear apply and then that one misses, then the next one's unresistible, so that one does apply and then this one doesn't? How does that alternate, right? You know, or is it like this one right here, attack one enemy 2 times, each hit transfers a random debuff, so the first one counts as a miss and then the second one goes? If this champion is under any debuffs when counterattacks with this skill. So he's going to be self-cleansing over time when he's hit if he survives. So the question is, where can I use this guy? And I'm trying to think about this. Like right now, I'm actually doing okay in faction wars because I just got Mikage and I have Mitch. He would make a nice addition to the Shadowkin faction for sure. I think I would prefer to have a reviver. I don't think I can use this guy in my main arena team. I don't think I would ever use this guy in live arena. Maybe this would be somebody I could use in tag arena, 3 versus 3. I don't know. I think if I was just starting the game, it would be challenging even to do the fusion. So I'm not sure who this would be for. I'm having a hard time justifying going after this one because I don't think that he's going to be too effective where I need him. I'm largely done with most content outside of some of the hard stuff. Some of the Doom Towers, I'm getting through it. So this is kind of a pass as far as I'm concerned. And I think the player, if I think back when I could have got the most use out of this character would have been like earlier in the game, but I wasn't really able to do fusions that early. So this is kind of a strange one for me, and I'm going to pass unless it's super easy to get. There's always a case to be made that getting all the legendaries and doing all the fusions is useful. That way, if you ever pull a duplicate, that'll help your faction guardians. Okay, I get that. Let me know. Are you going to be going for this fusion? Bye for now. All right, I'm going to edit that one myself and post it. Anybody going for this guy? Yeah. Babe, are you home? If you haven't done so already, click the link in the description or scan the QR code right here on the screen and you'll get Corrado, the Fox Hunter, right from the start, which is a legendary champion. Then once you hit level 15, you'll get Ugo, an epic support champion. Very, very useful character. In addition, once you hit level 30, you get Tagore, which is also an epic support champion. And then in the first 24 hours of playing Raid Shadow Legends, be sure to use the promo code Monkey King to get Sun Wukong. What is this website? Oh, this is hellhades.com. I use it for like almost everything. Do I want to respec my account right now? Oh, yeah. I just got Cheshire Cat today, who's amazing. Yeah, I just pulled Cheshire Cat randomly. Hmm. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I haven't. I feel the same way. I've been largely ignoring the respecking until right now. All right, let's do some arena real quick. You never understand this game? It definitely is more complicated than Marvel Strike Force. Like, not even close. Cheshire Cat can be used in arena, but it looks like lead damage. I imagine it's gonna be similar to Razorvarg. I gotta do some more research on it. Uh, I know that I need a little bit more on my demon spawn, so I'm working on her. Oof. I didn't really try a fusion for like 3 months in, maybe 4. They're actually pretty hard. Like the sooner though that you can do one, the better. But you have to be very deliberate about it. You have to have resources saved. You need probably about you need to start the van off with at least 20 million gold, maybe like 2 or 3 thousand gems, if I were to guess. I mean, you just need to be ready for it. Yeah, you need about 20 million silver too. Ah, unfortunately, does not. No, we can lose right here. Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen. That guy is such a cheater. This is not the one to chase. Fabian was the one to chase. Oh yeah, Mikage. I saw their like this massive race for it, and I was like, yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna bother. Like I'm kicking myself for not doing it. I think it would have been all of my cores, all of them, all of them. Okay. Go for it, lazy. Oh no, no. Yeah, do it. Fuse it anyways. Yeah, fuser. There's your great hull look. It's all over the place. I actually really starting to hate live arena. Do not like it. Are you using your cores for refreshes? You should be using your cores for the 50 refreshes primarily. Oh yeah, that's. Oh, the only thing I spend power cores are on refreshes and sometimes character shards. Hold on. I don't even like. I actually greatly. I like all the PvP in this game, but generally the PvP stuff not as much. Like I like that in Rage Marvel Strike Force a lot better. What's up, babe? What's up? Huh? What's up with what? You can go right now. Yeah. I can get a pizza. Want to go right now? Probably not busy right now. All right. All right. I'm going to call it. Thank you for being here. You guys are the best. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Download